Good afternoon, everyone. I do hope that everyone can hear me clearly. My name is LadyMary Boadu. I am your host for the chat room, a platform dedicated to resolving daily life issue. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, the Americans have changed their time once again. And so it should be about 8 p.m. GMT somewhere. Thank you all so much for always taking the time to join us right here in the chat room. Tonight, I have myself and our guest who would be joining us. If you tuned in last week, I am sure that you were blessed. Without wasting much time, we'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we get the program started.
Yo. Now your matter when you talk. Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve them. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn. Every episode you gon' feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room.
Oh yes.
We go talk and clear, no delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You, hey, the chat room. Hey, now here we define the way. We the chat room. We go talk and clear, no delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room. Oh yes, we go talk and clear, no delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You.
All right. Thank you all so much for your patience. I'm glad that we are tuning in our numbers. I have a guest for tonight with us. As I said earlier on, the time has changed, and so we apologize to those that may be watching us. It says what? Okay. All right. Those that may be watching us. I don't know. Hopefully everyone would get the notification once they follow us. All right. Prof, thank you so much for coming back today. It looks like we are the current Oliver Twist. we decided to bring you back. We had an amazing time last Sunday, and so strange and so soon. It's already a week, and here we are. We want to continue our session. Please, if you're just joining us, if you have a question, comment, contributions, leave it under the live session. You can tell a friend to join us live right now, right here in the chat room. We are live on YouTube via Gold Legacy Radio, and then on LadyMary Boadu platform. We are doing well. We're actually live on Instagram as well, and we are trying to see how we can start broadcasting via TikTok as well. So If you are joining us today, is not a mistake. We are glad. Prof, can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself, and then let's go right into it.
All right. Thank you so much, Lady Mary. And thank you also to your lovely listeners. I think today is a privilege to be here once again. I was with you last week, and it was a great session. I enjoyed it, and I was glad that I've been called again to come and engage with you today. So, my name is Jacob Diameh. I was a former lecturer at the University of Lincoln. I've taught models like masters in international business, masters in project management, accounting, and finance. I was the student engagement lead for the entire business school. Currently, I'm working with Queen's University Belfast, and I work as a project manager on robotics project, innovation project, and a bit of artificial intelligence project. So yes, and I'm here today to engage with you on AI. So yeah, thank you so much for welcoming me.
Here we are. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Lady Mary, I can hear you.
All right. Good. So we can go ahead and get right into it. We'll continue from where we stopped last week, and then Nanaya had something she wanted you to touch on briefly, but we'll go into it and then as time goes by. But please don't forget to leave your comments, questions in the live session. Doc, go ahead.
Yes, so I think last week we were talking about artificial intelligence. So I will just go back on to the birth of the idea. So those of you who were not here last week, you'll be able to understand, what is the beginning or who birthed artificial intelligence. So this was formally in 1956 at the Dortmund conference, where we have a group of computer scientists proposing that machine could stimulate human intelligence. Now, a key figure there was Alan Turing. So this is a person who asks the significant question, the most important question today that, can machine think? So that was the big question that it was raised. If you're a researcher, you know that anytime you're about to research, there will be a question. Okay, we call it a research question. So that was what triggered for them to pursue, the establishment of artificial intelligence. Now the question is, if somebody asks you in a layman, what is artificial intelligence? Okay, see, as a human being, we started with human intelligence. So human intelligence is when you give birth to a child, when the child grow, they think. Okay, when we think, everything that we do in terms of our using our mind to think is what we call the human intelligence. Now, if you move to artificial intelligence, it means, the way things operate or think without the use of human thinking. So that is kind of like artificial. So that is machine thinking, and we have the machine language. So we have different models of language and frameworks that brings all this artificial intelligence. Now we are in the era of generative AI, and when we talk about generative AI, it's a way of the machine thinking, and you give them instruction, then they generate intelligence based on the feed or the information you feed it. So that is how the whole artificial intelligence is. Now, last week also we looked at some key tools that you people might be using to be able to enhance their artificial intelligence thinking, and we looked at ChatGTP, and we said ChatGTP is basically used for brainstorming, for essay outlines, and for explanation. So sometimes, and I believe most of you have used ChatGTP before, and we also have Grammarly. So Grammarly, we use it to write feedback, understand, like clarity in our writings, and we have Cobot. I remember that as a student, I used to use Cobot a lot, because if you copy something from the internet and just paste it in your assessment, that is paraphrasing. So you are plagiarizing the person's work. But we use Cobot to paraphrase and summarize those kind of information, so it can become your content. So we looked at different aspect of artificial intelligence and also some of the tools. So today, what we wanted to look at is, as a parent, what is the economic forum predictions of the job market. So we want to understand that if you want to start moving towards artificial intelligence, what are the roles, what are the jobs that you should be looking at? Because if you have a 10-year-old son today, in 10 years to come, your son will become 20 years. So definitely he will be in the university. So if you're able to guide them to say, okay, this is the areas of the jobs that you can start pursuing, it will make your child, pursue a career that at the end of their time, they can be able to secure a good job. So that is one of the key points for today. So today, we'll be going deeper into the World Economic Forum and the future of jobs and also career predictions. So yes, so I think LadyMary, yeah.
Yeah, let's go right into it. We can go ahead and go into it. As I get questions, I'll pass it on to you.
All right. So I think when you look at globally, we have around 170 million new jobs being created globally. Okay. So every year there is more jobs coming up. Okay. Every year there is more jobs coming up. And about 92 million jobs will disappear due to automation and AI. So this is not from me, it is from the World Economic Forum. So it says 92 million jobs will disappear due to automation and AI, right?
Wow.
And as a result, 78 million new jobs will also be created. So we have 92 jobs going away and 78 jobs also being created. And when you look at these dynamics, okay, this will shape the economic flow, and this will shape how organizations grow, how countries grow, how the economy of a country grow. So when you look at being in a job that might be meant for redundancy or will be obsolete, okay, in a few years to come, this is the time for you to start having the conversation that what should you do? Okay, what should you do? Later, I will come into those various jobs that will be obsolete, and we'll look at touching each one of them. Now, the big question is, when somebody tells you, okay, what should you do? There is two terminologies here. We have upscaling and we have rescaling. Okay, so if you're a worker at the moment and you are in your company or you are in an organization that you are being employed, and if I touch on some of those obsolete jobs and you think you fall within that category, don't panic. Okay, that is where we have upscaling and rescaling. So upscaling is trying to enhance your job, okay, with new skills. So if you're an HR person, maybe you can just upskill to say, okay, I want to learn how to use Microsoft Word because it is in line with your job. I want to learn how to use PowerPoint because it's in line with your job, okay? So whatever skills that you learn, which is in line with your job, is what we call upscaling, right? Now, when we talk about rescaling means you are doing something that is not in line with your job. So, for instance, if you are doing, maybe you are a cashier, okay, or you are maybe an accountant, and you don't use maybe like cybersecurity tools, you don't use maybe like data analytics tools, but tomorrow you say, oh, I want to add data analytics to my job. Okay, that is what we call rescaling. So, for instance, you can be in a profession like maybe a restaurant or a caterer, okay, and tomorrow you say, oh, I want to start learning project management. So what you are doing, moving from one skill to another skill, is what we call rescaling, okay. So now the whole world is moving towards how do we go about upscaling or rescaling, okay. So if I mention some of this likely jobs that will be coming up and also likely jobs that will be going down, the question is not to panic, but is for you to understand whether can you reskill or can you upskill, okay. If it is in line with your job, you just have to upskill, okay. Now, the jobs mostly likely to decline. Okay, please don't panic. And this is not from me, it is from World Economic Forum. So the jobs that are most likely to decline in the next 10 years, okay, so we have, according to the World Economic Forum, okay, we have data entry clerks. Okay, so data entry clerks, in the before computer, okay, like we have, most of the time we call them, some people, secretaries, like they are secretary to a company. So they do like maybe like data entry. They just enter information into the computer. And you see, this is the highest, okay, jobs that, there will be a huge obsolete or redundancy in that area. So if you're a data entry clerk, what you need to start to look at is, maybe you need to look at data analytics. Okay, so what can you do to upskill to that, that career path? Now, administrative assistant. Okay, administrative assistant is the second on the list. So it's also a job that is likely to decline the next 10 years. So if you are an administrative assistant, you also need to start, paying attention to what can you do to upskill or reskill. Then ticket clerks. So we have ticket clerks, people who maybe a sports stadium, they are giving out tickets, or maybe, toll booth, they are giving out tickets, or maybe places, different places that they give tickets. So because a lot of computers nowadays are doing everything automated. So if you are going to book, a car park, it is automated. We don't need anybody there to be there, right? Then we also have cashier. So cashier is also a big job that might go redundancy, according to World Economic Forum. So because, cashiers are people who take money. Now, when you look at globally, there are cashless systems. Okay, they are cashless systems. So they are bringing out automation, AI, to take away, the role of taking, being a cashier. So what you need to start looking at is, okay, like if you're a cashier, then you should start looking at upscaling or rescaling, like I said earlier on. Then basic accounting and record keeping roles. Because nowadays, see, now if you go to a filling station, petrol station, okay, in the Western world, you don't even need to see anyone at the petrol station. You do your own petrol and you do your own payment. So in this case, if they don't need an accountant to be at the petrol station, right? But if you are an accountant, or you do basic accounting principles, so it means that, okay, your job will likely to decline, right? Now, in Africa, okay, or in the sub-Saharan Africa, there is still ongoing, people who maybe filling station, you go, there are people who will take money, then they will, they give you the fuel, right? And it is still there. But how long can you be doing that? Because see, the moment the Western world keep moving, they keep moving towards automation, digitalization, AI, okay, there is a ripple effect. So it means very soon, you need to start preparing for your job, okay, so that you don't sit down.
Go ahead.
Again.
No, finish about.
So you don't sit down and wait until your boss come to you and say, please, we are implementing artificial intelligence, we are implementing automation. Okay, I have more than 4 projects I am working on at the moment, and I am the project manager for those projects. So one of the projects that I'm working on is a 10 million pound project, and this project, okay, the objectives of the project is that they don't have skilled personnel at that, like in the companies that we are doing the project for them. So they want us to bring on an automation, like a machine, a robotics, a machine that can be able to replace. So instead of employing 5 people, they will just take only 1 person, so that the 1 person can do the job of the 5. Okay, and this is not somebody saying,
and that 1 person is in the form of that machine.
Yes, so the machine will be doing all the work, and the 1 person will just come and do some small things. Okay, and I've seen, see, it's not somebody saying it, right, but when you come to where I'm working, see, you go to the house, okay, you go home, By the time you come, you just program the robot. All the work will be done in the morning. All the work have been done. So now the issue is the robot doesn't sleep. The robot doesn't, taking any, doesn't complain,
The
or the
robot
robot,
doesn't have any family or children.
yes. So it just work 24 hours, okay, and make sure that the work is done. So if you are somebody who you are not adding automation AI to your job, okay, then you are really, really behind. That is why we are saying that don't sit down and wait until the last end.
Right.
Start upscaling. Okay, start upscaling. So that is the big question there for us to do.
I don't know if I should call it a comment or a question. So can we then say that AI is forcing people to want to upgrade themselves? Can we say that? Because generally we know that some of us tend to be comfortable, and we've all been victim one way or the other, where you become very comfortable in your current position or in what you're doing now or what you're used to, and so that change becomes an issue where you don't want to change. You're so used to doing the same process, and we all know that handling one process for a long period of time can be draining. It gets to a point where you are tired and all of that. So can we say, and then some of us, when we find ourselves in that place, we're like, okay, we just want to stay here till we retire. We don't want to do anything different. Can we then say that AI is then forcing people to want to upgrade themselves for the better, if so to speak? Can we say that?
Yeah, I think it's all boils down to, can machine think? Okay, the first question that was asked in 1956, can machine think? See, the emergence of AI is moving very fast. So as a career person, nobody will force you to upskill or reskill, okay? Because your boss will not, okay, like for instance, a for example is, see, I sit in a meeting with maybe like different people, and we plan objective of a project, okay? When we are planning for objectives of the project, the workers or the employees are not there, okay? Now, the company owner will come and say, see, I want, okay, by 5 years' time, I want to reduce my workforce by 30%, okay? So in that case, at that point, you have not even imagined that your job will be at stake. So what is AI is doing is, right, AI is rather telling you that, okay, see, there is opportunity for you to embrace AI so that it doesn't look like AI will force you to be out of your job. So you need to make sure that you embrace it and reskill to be able to align with what you can do, within that era of AI.
Let me ask you this, Doc. So then, let's say for some of our aunties and our mothers that have all they can do is cleaning, okay? Like cleaning the hospitals, cleaning the company's kitchen, and all of that. Okay. What hope is there for them? Because you and I know that some of our older people, our aunties, our uncles, regardless of how you look at it, or regardless of their age, there are those that are not tech savvy. They cannot, regardless of what you do, they can't get into this AI world. So what hope is there for them?
I think so. So the question is, okay, if for instance, like the way you're saying, like if the person is a cleaner, okay, this is a basic job, okay, and
mind you, we've already seen machines that are doing
and that is what I was about to say, like, because currently there is so many inventions where machine, you can just operate the machine and just give it a time, and in the next 1 hour, you don't need to be there, the machine will clean all those places, right? So what if you are into cleaning and you realize that, okay, there is already a machine that is already happening right now, why don't you start learning those machines? So in this case, okay, you'll be relevant for a company to say, instead of taking 20 people, I would rather employ you So because you know how to operate those machines, okay? And it is easy to operate those machines. So just maybe, just simple click and just know how to operate it. And it will be very efficient, because if you are cleaning for a company and the company is taking you on a contract basis, and you tell the company that, see, now I'm enhancing, okay, my capability. So instead of using 2 or 3 hours to do the cleaning, okay, now I'm bringing a machine that can do it in 30 minutes. Okay, see, this company will take you and you will be more sorted after, because they just want you to come and clean 30 minutes instead of somebody coming to clean 3 hours. Okay, so that they can just have opportunities to go on with their work. And that is why, this is a good opportunity for our mothers. Just go and say, is there a machine that is capable of doing cleaning? And Dyson and all those products are there. There are so many computers, machines out there that you can be able to help you to do the work faster.
Hey. I as much as we want to move at the pace of this AI, I think that it rather, I don't know if I should say, creeped up on us faster than we thought. Because though we had an idea of it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think many of us really saw that it was really going to run this fast. Because now that it's launched, a question that was asked 19 something, and here we are. Now it's moving so fast that I actually just found out the other day, and I guess I should have known this, being that I post these 2 minutes videos and things like that. I found out that there's actually a portion in some of these apps that can actually edit your voice. I'm not saying I didn't know about it. I knew it, but I didn't realize that everyone had access to it. It's right there. Literally, I posted a video and I seen it. And when I clicked on it, I realized that it gives you the option on how you want your voice to sound, and it can sound totally different from you. And I'm like, no, I don't like this. But you see, that leads to a question that I believe Nanaya had earlier, that can we talk about, if you're not done, you can continue, but she wanted to know if we can talk about how people can use AI to, let's say, to cause problem for others, because there are times where you will see somebody's face on a picture which is truly not them, and it seems like there's no way to defend yourself, because it's created in a way that everything in that picture looks like is you. So can we talk about that? I don't know if you're okay.
Yeah. Can we yes, I think, see, now we have the machine language. So when you look at machine language, okay, how this thing operates is when you feed AI with your details. So AI, that is why it is called generative AI. So it works based on the information it has. Okay. So now what AI is doing is that I'll just move prior to 2019, 2020, when COVID-19 came. Okay. See, before 2020, the world was moving at a cautious pace, meaning that, we just want to be careful. Okay. So when they were introducing technology and AI, the world was being cautious not to go too advanced. So they wanted to start implementing the ethical consideration. They wanted to put in the AI policy, AI regulation, AI laws, okay, that will be able to govern the way AI should be used, right? Now, after COVID-19, there was a peak, okay, in AI usage. So now there was a huge peak, and the regulators could not control how to cap, the usage of AI. So now people just use your information. Even somebody can clone your voice, clone your face, clone every detail about you, and they will just move it to AI. So now the question is, okay, if you are putting out your information out there, okay, you just have to be careful, right? You just have to be careful, because now when you look at cyber crimes, okay, cyber crimes, which later I'll talk about the jobs expected to grow in the next 10 years, you look at cyber security as one of the areas that you can start looking at. Because if you are a young person today and you know that, okay, see, this is a very big booming market, because if people are cloning people's image, people are using unauthorized have unauthorized access to data and access to people's information, they will start stealing their money. They will start putting false claim on them, and even things that you have not done, they will just put you there. See, there are so many people can even clone people's voice. And if you are not careful now, we cannot even filter, okay, an AI generated information and not. Because there will be two videos, one will be AI, and you will still believe that it is true. So as a parent, okay, sometimes you need to be careful how you throw your children's information out there in public, because if the people get access to those information and they generate maybe like a video about maybe your child stealing somewhere, okay, please don't be in a haste to scorn them. Okay. Yes, it's very true. Because recently there was, and even when you look at the issue with BBC, okay, like, see, AI is just making so many issues. Okay, it's creating so many issues. So we just have to have like understand the policy. Okay, understand the policy, so that you are not in a haste, okay, to decide or to take a decision, okay, and it could be an AI generated information. So we just have to be careful out there how we throw our information out, especially putting your things on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. See, all those things are avenues to be capturing like people's information and data. And those data, okay, the moment it captures, later, I don't know if I have time. So there's so many architectural framework, okay, which governs the way data, okay, move from one avenue to another avenue. So it move in a packet form, and that information has a sender information. It gets stored on a website, a server somewhere. It gets stored on a database, and that information now somebody can be able to clone it. Okay, so we just have to be extremely careful how we throw our information out there in this era of AI.
Ooh, okay. I believe we touched on that. She said that using people's faces and voices to impersonate them. Yeah, it's scary. I mean, I've seen cases where people have been jailed for years and later come to find out that they didn't commit the crime, but then they've been in prison for 15, 20, 30 years. And I don't think back then AI was as this rampant as it is now. So imagine what can happen now. I know sometimes people would say, oh, it's if God has blessed you, put it out there, showcases and all the 9 yards. But I'm glad that we're having this conversation, because when God blesses you, yes, you want to showcase it, but then we also want to be very mindful and careful of the type of information that we put out there, especially now. Nanaya says, how can we recognize when something is generated by AI?
All right. Yeah, thank you, Danaya, for the question. See, I think when you look at maybe 2 years back, okay, if somebody have an AI generated, okay, content, it's easily for you to recognize with your eyes, okay. But nowadays, the generative AI and the machine learning models that are coming up, okay, is making it difficult for you to recognize, or like Grok, like Elon Musk, AI Grok, right? Sometimes it can generate some space videos, and it is difficult for you to know whether this is an AI generated or not. Okay, so that is why sometimes nowadays, as a typical person, like like myself and you, okay, if you are not technical to understand that this is an AI generated, you will not know. You will not know. So what we normally do is that you can check the video.
Let me tell you this, okay?
Yes.
For me, I know that as for you, you are all out there. Let me chip this in. So recently I had an appointment and my Eunice, my daughter, sent me a video. It's actually a trend that came. I'm not sure people are doing it anymore, but she sent me a video at while I'm at appointment, and she goes, and I really don't follow all these trends on social media, but
yeah.
She sent me a video and she goes, a picture, and she said, "Wow, mommy, did you know that this person was coming here? He just entered the house. He said he needed a place to rest, blah, blah, blah." And I mean, this picture is a man that is literally sitting on our living, and you've been to our house, sitting in the living room chair. I mean, his foot is on the carpet, everything, genuinely. And so I'm like, "Did you let the person in?" Then she goes, "Yeah, I didn't know what to do. When I opened the door, he just banged in and blah, blah, blah." And me, being a mom, my heart almost dropped down to my feet. Got in my car and I'm driving home. I'm like, "Okay, call the police." Then she goes, "Well, I don't know if I can call the police because he's right here. What am I going to say?" So apparently, prank that was going on. But I'm telling you, it looked so genuine. It's a Snapchat app or something like that, where children were really messing up with their parents about, on this. But I say this to say that that's how far it's come. So when I got it, I was actually on the phone with my friend when I got her message. I said, "Hey, I have to call you back, sis. Eunice said somebody badged in the home." And I mean, look at us being parents, being mothers. And I said, "I have to call you back." So she dropped the call. Then she's texting me, "Is she okay? Have her call the police." Look at this mess. And all of this, it was AI. It was a trend, something that was happening on social media. And so I think so for me, I usually will probe the kids when they're telling me stuff. So the moment I said call 911, I said, "Okay, I'm calling the police." Then I realized that her voice changed. So I'm like, okay, I think she might be joking with me. But think about it. If it's a parent that may not really probe, and I'm sorry to say, if your parents or if your mom or your father has a heart attack or your uncle, these are not the type of game you want to play. But this is where AI is going.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Jacob, if I tell you that literally I felt my my heart in my belly, I mean it. And she was home alone, So though that was a prank, who knows that these things, it's happening.
Yeah.
So then, like, to her question, how can we really identify them?
Yeah. So I think, for you to identify, an AI video, first of all, you need to you need to add what we call the possibility assessment of the video, right? So if you hear, maybe like the way the situation is with your daughter, so the first thing is you ask yourself, is this possible? Okay, is this possible? Now, also, when you look at if you know the person or maybe the person is a family member, you just have to first of all give them a call to say, did you do this? Okay, or were you part of this video? Right? So that is where, when you want to go into technicality, okay, so in the technicality, that is where we have those cyber detectors. You have maybe like the bypass AI, which, there are some tools that you can use it to detect, but that becomes a secondary ways of investigating, whether the software, the video, the content has been generated by AI. But sometimes you just have to check, okay, and just say, give your own self-assessment and say, answer asking questions. Okay. Now, what others are also doing is that if they have a generated content using AI, they will upload it to Grok. Okay, they will upload it to Grok, or they will upload the video or the picture to ChatGPT and say, is this AI generated?
Beautiful.
Because you are using AI, okay, the AI can be able to detect an AI, right? So it can be able to detect the accuracy of the video because it will match all the algorithms against what is existing on the internet. So if there's nothing like that, it will come back and tell you that no, this has been audited and this has been edited, and this is not true, right?
Okay.
So sometimes you can use AI to detect
Detect.
AI in
Good.
that case. Yeah.
Beautiful. That was going to be my next question, because you did say this, that professors use AI to detect AI. So I was going to ask that. I am really hoping that is as fast as things are moving, the FBI's and the detectives and the police and what have you, the investigative unit, I pray that they also have a system to where now if somebody actually fabricates something to make it look like it's what, it's real, that they also have a system to where they can actually put this, maybe like a video or picture, something that they can also put it in that system for it to tell them if this was really generated by AI or that the person actually commit this. Because I don't know, but I don't know if it's safe to say, I feel that things are going out of hand at the rates which AI is really moving. But let me read some comments, if that's okay, please.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
That's fine.
yes, we touch on Miss Rose's comments. Miss Rose, Nana Ya, and Alex Nemo, Auntie Gladys, thank you for tuning in. Miss Tilly, you are welcome. Jennifer, thank you for tuning in. And our father has a comment. He says that these are bad days for we, the BBC, born before computer individual. It says workers from my farm, oops, somebody sent a comment. Farm work just lost their work in Germany. Yes, so farmers are actually also beginning to use systems, right? To where the real farmers, that's like human farmers, are starting to lose their job, like you rightly said. I don't know if you want to touch on that, but it says that yes, farmers are losing their job because of AI. It says that they are using family members' voice to ask for money. What about our parents that are not technically savvy? Yes, technically savvy. Yeah. How can they tell it's a scam?
Okay. So do you want me to touch on the tools?
Yeah, we can do that. But that's strange. I know that sometimes you drive, and as you're driving, you see, the farmers are plowing, and you see the big trucks and all, the cars, vehicles, and things like that. But how is, well, go into it since it's your field.
Yes. So on the farmers
Yes.
complaining, yeah, I think when you look at the issue with regards to the farmers, I think it's two ways. Okay, it's two ways here. So you have, let's say you have 10 acre of land. Okay, and you maybe like you are a corn farmer, so you plant maize or corn. Okay, as you can use the words. So if you are a corn farmer, it is difficult for AI or a computer to take your job if you are the farmer. Okay, now what happens is, if your next door farmer or your competitor also has 10 acres but is able to utilize artificial intelligence, it's able to utilize, the person is able to utilize machines, okay, like equipment that can do the work faster. Okay, you will always be out of your farming, because so what you need to do as a farmer is to embrace. Okay, you need to start asking yourself. So for instance, if you are in a remote place in maybe like eastern region, okay, and it is difficult to say you want to start buying planters, machine planters, or maybe John Deere tractors that can be able to do the work faster, because it's expensive. Okay, so what people are doing is, people have started looking into the high purchase of high-end equipment, right? So they will buy the equipment, or they can rent it out, or they can just look into what are the possible ways I can be able to do my farming to be able to achieve greater productivity and yield using the smallest effort. Okay, so that is the only challenge that farmers are facing, because if you don't have the capital, you don't have the means to acquire this equipment, you know your other competitors who are producing a high capacity or high yielding capacity will be able to take your job from you. So, and that is how AI has turned everything to. So there is nothing to stop it than to also, you know, find a way to embrace that technology so that you can be able to enhance your productivity as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I can only imagine what will really happen in the next 50 years. But she wants to know, she said, how can our parents detect these things? You know, that if it's AI, I'll let you touch on the question, but there is one thing that I've actually established with my mom, and that if my mom is going to send money to anybody, it has to be either through me or her sister, or that she physically go to the store to do it herself. Under no circumstance would she send money, even on her phone. She has access to it. But if somebody call to say, okay, maybe this is your daughter asking for money, she will call me. If she doesn't get me, she's going to call my brother. Have you heard from your sister? This and this and that. So at least for us, we've developed ways. But I know that people are still being scammed, that they make it so real, like you can't doubt it. Go ahead, please.
All right. So I think, you know, yeah, thank you so much for that. I think just a basic one, okay? Because I saw a question that, you know, like people have started using AI to collect money from family members. Anytime you receive a text message or you receive an AI content, maybe an audio recording of your family member saying that, please send me money because, you know, like there's an emergency, there is this, there is that. Okay, see, the first thing is, with AI, in the current emergency, you know, emergence of AI means that you don't panic to do any decision. Okay, never panic to take any decision, because see, the moment you panic, you will not be rational. You just take a decision without, you know, thinking properly about it. If you get an AI recorded audio or a text message or anything that they have, you know, hacked your system, the first thing to do is give somebody a call. Okay, call the person. If they don't pick, don't send the money. Make sure you call them, hear their voice, ask them, and when you ask them question, try and ask them something that only them will know. So for instance, you say, oh, have you been to the market today? Okay, or have you been to school today? Is your dad home? Who is he? Try and get some small ideas. Okay, and by doing that, you can be able to know if the person that you are talking is not, you know, like, you know, a hacker, or is not an AI generated person. Now, when you look at there is something that, you know, OpenAI and Google has started creating. We call it the synced ID. Okay, so synced ID. So this is a watermark, AI watermark system that has been embedded invisible signals in AI outputs. So whatever AI thing that you generate, okay, this OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, and also Google, which is Gemini, they started adding that watermark. So it is easier for like the, you know, some of those tools to detect and say this is AI generated. Now I'll touch on some few tools. Okay, these are softwares, these are tools on the market, and you can easily use it to detect AI. So the first one is Tennyton, and this is being used by the universities. So when you look at most of these universities, they use Tennyton a lot. So we use Tennyton to detect if a student have used AI to do their work. Okay, and it can detect all the areas that has been earmarked. Okay, and when I was a lecturer at the university, I was supervising like 80 students doing their dissertation, master's dissertation. And sometimes when I mark and it generates, give me the report, I can be able to see all the portion. It will highlight it blue. Okay, and it can generate the report, tell me, you know, what software they use and all the detailed information about, you know, the information that has been used. So this is there and it is in the market. So they are using it all the time. So anytime you are a student and you are submitting your work and they tell you submit to 10:10, please be careful, because you know that if you use AI, please go and remove it, because if it goes there, they will detect it. Okay. Now, when you come to GPT-0, okay, so GPT-0 is also a ChatGPT style text. So you just put your work into it, and it uses what we call the perplexity to metrics to show whether, okay, what is the score of an AI written probability score. Okay, so it can generate the probability score. So you can be able to, and it is commonly used for teachers and editors. So this is also there. Now we have copy leak AI content detector. Okay, so it detects text and models from like ChatGPT, from Claude, and all the rest, and it can scan documents, code, and websites and provide a likely percentage. Because see, there is no software that is 100% accurate, but there is a percentage. So the higher it becomes, the percentage, then the higher it means that this content was used. You use AI. Then we have originality.ai. So originality.ai, it is popular with the search engine optimization writers and publishers. So they use it to detect AI writing, plagiarism together. So and anything, so you can use it to detect. Okay, and we also have the Zero GTP. So the Zero GTP is also it's a free online detector used widely by students. So, and this is it can highlight, okay, all the areas that have been used for AI. Okay, and we also have some image detectors. So we have the Hive AI detector, which is HIVE detector. Okay, and it can be able to identify, okay, like a stable diffusion of an image. So you look at an AI generated image and be able to detect and tell you that this is, a content has been generated using AI. And we have the AI watermark detection. So all these platforms, like I said, okay, it cannot give you 100% accurate, but it will give you the high chances that a content or an image or a video has been used. We've used AI to generate it. So that is what so I think after you are done, I will talk about the jobs that are highly likely to grow, because it is really, really important for people to understand, to know what are the future jobs that they need to start looking at, because there is huge market in AI. There is huge career market in AI. So if you're a young person, okay, and you are in your career right now, and you think you are going to be obsolete, like I said, start reskilling. Okay, start reskilling towards AI, because AI is demanding more careers. Also, it's creating more careers.
Thank you so much. There's a question here. It says, that, okay, I'm sorry. It's on WhatsApp. I was hoping to get it on my screen here so I don't have to look on the site. Okay, it says that, hello, Lady Mary, I am enjoying the conversation. Thank you so much. I'm watching you guys live from Italy, but truly speaking, as interesting as the conversation is, so as scary as it is. It says that, can he touch on this? Because I do use AI sometimes, especially on days where I'm running behind, or when I forget my assignment, I do use AI. It says, ask him this. Now, when you use AI and you rephrase your work or put it in several, okay, let me go back. Can you ask him this? When you use AI and use several systems to reframe the work or reword your work, is that still detectable?
Yes. Yeah, because you are just paraphrasing it. So, and that is why we see in the beginning, I mentioned that we have the human intelligence, okay? Then we have the artificial intelligence. Now, there's two ways about this. A machine is programmed to feed information in a certain way, okay? So if you paraphrase, sometimes, and I've seen students who have done that. They paraphrase an AI and the words lose meaning. So, and they don't take their time to read what the, because they generated with AI, they are not even sure what they are writing. Now, the paraphrasing software like Cobot, okay, I've used Cobot a lot. So Cobot or Grammarly, they will paraphrase it for you, okay, but it will lose its meaning. So if it goes to the lecturer, when he's marking, he will see that, oh, okay, what is this student saying? It's not making sense to the work. He gives you 10% or if it's 0%, then you go and say, oh, you don't understand. Because you did not take your time to read the content. So that is why it is advisable that, see, if you are in a hurry, okay, use the AI to understand the work, for the AI to guide you to the steps to take. So, but don't go and use AI to do 100% of the work, okay? Because the moment you do that, you move away from human intelligence. Because, see, bear you me, even though AI is there, the human intelligence is kind of like more very natural. That is what we call the natural learning model. Okay, so it's very natural, and that is why I don't know if maybe there are some softwares there, okay, that you can also use it to bypass AI, right? So it changes the artificial
Then when we
intelligence
finish,
language.
you need to give me that information offline.
Yes, because it's very, very important, like, so it can be able to change, from the machine artificial to the human learning. Okay. And I think, just also before we, I end this, the fastest growing careers in AI, okay, when you look at, what are the jobs that will be taken over in the next 10 years. So if you are a young person today and you are listening to me, you should need to make sure that, see, are you within this category? Okay. Those are the days when we study dondology, we study some courses that, drama, and we come out and you spend 5 years looking for a job, and no employer is willing to take somebody with a dondology degree. Okay. So this is I'm giving you this information out there. Okay. This is from World Economic Forum, and it is saying that in the next, from now to 10 years to come, AI and machine learning specialists will be more employed. Okay, this is the AI and machine learning specialists. And I know that there was a comment on AI being scary. It is true. Okay, then there is nothing we can do to stop it. Me and you, there is nothing we can do. Like I said, I am working on a 10 million robotic project. Okay, and this is huge, and I'm the project manager for that project. I see every day, and one of the objective of the project is how can we reduce, like a row. Okay, so we take away 10 people for only one person to do the job. Okay, and as a project manager, I cannot say, please, let's not do it. Okay, because this is funded by, so it is funded by, and I don't want to mention, but it is there. Okay, so you just wake up tomorrow and your job is gone, and there's nothing you can do. Now the next job is data scientist. So data scientist is also a driving force. So if you work with data and you understand data, you need to go into it. Then we have software developers, and I will just finish with a cybersecurity expert. So when you look at all these four, okay, before we come to the human focus, which is the nurses and healthcare workers, your job will be maintained because no AI can replace your jobs. Social workers and care roles, your job will be maintained because no AI can take your jobs. Then hands-on construction workers, your jobs will be maintained. Agricultural workers, like I said, they will still need you. Okay, just that it will be more kind of enhanced.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, delivery and logistics, even Amazon have started doing drone delivery. Okay, but for now, you still be maintaining your job. But okay, if you are somebody you are a delivery or logistics person, start learning how to use drones to deliver, your delivery. Okay, and these are some of the areas that you need to start looking at. Okay, you start looking at. So if you're a nurse and you think, okay, like I'm a healthcare worker, start looking at AI. How can I use AI to enhance my job? Okay, how can I use AI to start, giving me rational thinking and enhancing the way I'm thinking. Okay, so these are some areas that you need to start looking at.
Wow. Well, a comment on WhatsApp says, well, I hope that all those who thought that AI paraphrasing in different systems cannot be detected will wake up. Another comment on WhatsApp says, this is a really good information. I am truly learning. It's an eye opening. At least some of us will be careful and cautious when we are doing our assignments or writing our papers. It says that, can you have him touch on Just Done? Because some people actually believe there's an app called Just Done. Does he know more about it? Can you ask him? So while you're doing that, it says not really. Okay. Someone also have a question. It says that, how can they recognize an AI content? How can they? Is there like maybe some more? Because the 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 trend thing that I mentioned with my daughter, sending me the picture, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Um, Interestingly, my husband is not somebody that you can get with these things. If she sent that picture to my husband, he would have probably said, "We thank God." I know. I mean, literally, I'm telling you. You can't get him with those things. You can't get Reverend with, I don't know, maybe, okay, so he's also an IT person, so maybe, but you can't get Reverend with those things. I'm telling you, she comes up with all of these things, and then the only thing he'll say is, okay, we thank God. But, anyways, for me, I guess I'm a mom. My heart jumps up at everything. But how can we help? When she sent me that picture, I think another thing that gave me a clue that it was a lie was that there's like a sign on that, like an image on the picture that made me to tell that it's from one of these apps. So for me, I think that, and then my probing with the questions also kind of gave it out. But how can someone, so like my mom is 60, 60, 65. So people like that certainly have no knowledge, no clue what AI look like. Maybe for my grandmother, she uses a phone, but she has no clue. How would they be able to detect? Should they just use their human instincts to tell, or what? Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think before I touch on that, I think someone mentioned on the Jest app. So when you look at the
Just
Jest
that,
app,
I think.
yes. So it's a personalized feed of images based on your interests. So it's similar to Pinterest. So what you do is that you just put your picture there, and it can display the images you might like. So kind of like a personalized interest. So if I put maybe like corn there, okay, it will just give me something similar around that. Yeah. Then when you come on our mothers, because you see the reason why I'm taking my like a big breath before I'm saying our mothers, because you see they don't have time to start learning AI. They don't have time to start using all this all these tools that I've mentioned, like 1018, like the zero GTP, originality AI, okay, the Have AI detector, all this, like AI watermark detection, they cannot use it. Okay, when you look at, they cannot use it. But that is why I mentioned earlier on that if your daughter calls you to say, "Oh, mommy, send me money," okay, and she doesn't call you, sorry, if she sends you audio recording, okay, it could be a AI generated audio recording that, "Oh, mommy, I'm stranded somewhere, send me money to be able to buy fuel or to be able to buy petrol." Mommy, please, okay, don't send the money right away. Like I mentioned earlier on, give her a call. Try and give her a call. Call her and say, Ajua, try and say something, okay, maybe earlier in the morning, or that you spoke about, or yesterday, So, that is a way to be able to detect, okay, if this person, because people can clone your voice. Okay, they can clone your voice because see, now there are so many apps that you can install that when you receive a call, it can clone somebody's voice to a male voice, and it see, AI is out of our control. Like I said, AI is out of our control. What we need to start doing is, okay, how do we make good use of it? Okay, how do we make good use of it? So call the person, find out, ask some few questions that is relatable. The person respond, then you know that it is her. Okay. If you see a message, especially AI generated information, one simple thing that you can dictate is there is always a hyphen. Okay, there is always a hyphen in some of the statements. So in my case like this, I can easily see an AI essay or AI work without even using an AI dictator, and I will know that this is AI format. Okay, and it also comes back to people who are started applying for jobs. Okay, and we've not even touched on that. People use AI to apply for jobs. Now we have what we call the ATS, okay, ATS AI detector, right? So if you are in the Canada, you are in US, you are in UK, see, there are softwares that can detect that your CV, you use AI to write your CV. Okay, and as soon as they see that you use AI to write your CV, they take it out. So you see, you just have to be careful out there.
Prof, wait, this is interesting because everything is being moved to AI. But now, if I use AI to write my resume, you are going to detect it and take that one that was written or created by AI and take it out. You want me to use my human knowledge and all of that to actually write that resume.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If
yes.
you find that AI wrote my resume or created my resume, you're gonna pick it up and put it on this, shove it somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. Yet
Yes.
we are in the world, or we're in the age where everything is being moved to AI. Anyway, that I just thought to comment on that.
Yeah, I think so the big question that nowadays, okay, if you are an HR person here, okay, especially like if you are in the Western world, okay, you realize that now the moment somebody use AI to do any work, okay, it removes that originality. Okay, so it makes it more kind of generic. So the assumption is that you've used AI. Okay, so what anything that you mention in the CV, they will detect it as what? False. Okay, last week I mentioned that, see, an auditing firm, a big organization, okay, a very big auditing firm did a contract for the Australian government. Okay, this auditing firm used AI to write their report. Now, the Australian government detected this report that it was generated with AI, and they sued them. Okay, so you see, whatever action you take, okay, will have its repercussions. So if you use AI to generate your CV, it takes away the originality. Okay, but what you can do is that if you use AI to look at, write your CV, go and type it yourself. Okay, so when you do your typing and you okay, don't be writing dito, don't be copying and pasting everything. So you use your human, or what we call the natural learning model, your human thinking, okay, your human intelligence, to now write it, because you understand your CV better, not AI. Because AI is programmed to just write it the way AI will understand. So if AI write it for you and you use AI to detect it, it is not a crime. Because now that is what we are heading towards. AI will be used to detect AI. So it will catch another AI, right? So please, if you apply jobs and you are not getting any interviews, it means your CV has always been thrown away. So they take your CV and they put it in the bin. So in order for you to avoid that, okay, start changing okay, the steps. Start changing to make sure that you don't. And there are some CV detectors like AI resume detector. Okay, so this is like a Tinnitin Eye. It's a software platform that is there. We have a resume AI checker. We have AI resume screening platform. We have the resume rank. We have the CV scan R. We have the CV sieve. So all these are the things that. So when you write your CV, you can take it to the AI detect resume checker to check the percentage. Okay, when you write it and you just paraphrase it a bit or change the words a bit, put it back there, and get the score.
Get the feedback.
So you understand. So once you start getting the feedback, you know that okay, like if the AI score is high, okay, and there are some other softwares there, so which you can use it to analyze. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Mr. Musa Bakai, thank you for tuning in. Lorenzo the Great, thank you for joining. Nananchi, thank you. It's the chat room, as always, educative, informative, and pretty interactive. He says that what is one way to stop the scam to stop the scammers?
Yeah.
Way?
I think you see the issue is okay. When you look at our laws, our policies, okay, we've not matured yet for us to say that if a scammer scams you, I can take the person to court, or I can call the police, because if you call the police, they don't even know what you are talking about, right? So what you need to do is that you need to now protect your information out there. Okay, protect your information out there, because a scammer, like I said, a scammer will only pick your information and work on your information. So don't put your house address on the internet. Don't put your those people putting their baby pictures. See, you are selling their data out. Okay, and don't be putting your family members, don't be putting your checkbooks. If you go to public, okay, and that is one thing. See, you see every free internet when you are in town. Free internet, you connect. Free internet, then you connect. So what you are doing is that you are leaving your digital footprint. We call it digital footprint. And those digital footprints, that is where the scammers use to now come back and scam you. Because if you connect to a free Wi-Fi in public, then this free Wi-Fi, it captures your information, it captures your data, and that is where now it will come back to you. So don't be leaving your digital footprint across, because that is what the AI scammers can use to scam you. Okay, and if you see every app, sometimes you see, I always tell people, not every bank, your ATM, your bank card, don't use your bank card to be doing online transaction anyhow. So for instance, if you have 2 or 3 bank accounts, okay, you can get one online bank account like Monzo, like Revolut. So you get, or those banks that you just keep small money there. If it is $100, £100, okay, or 1,000 Ghana cedi, just keep it in that account and use for your online transactions. Because all these companies that you are also buying products from, they are also facing attack, scam every day. So if if you now present your card to them and a scammer also comes and they collect the data, your digital footprint is out there, right? So please make sure that you don't use your cards anyhow in internet. Don't send your information out there in anyhow. Be cautious of the information you send out there, because see, anything you send today, 5 years to come, okay, when AI is becoming advanced, it will come back again to hunt you. So please just have to start protecting your information out there.
Wow. As much as we are living in this world, and some of us use our debit cards, daily, information daily, I think people we might want to be extra cautious, when it comes to these things, I think. And we can't possibly note down every website we visit. So I guess that's where we have to be cautious too, because there are so many places, apps, and websites that we visit that I don't even think we remember
Yeah.
all of them, you know?
Yeah.
So being cautious, I think right now is the best thing when it comes to this common thing. I remember years ago, I was traveling to Virginia, and no, I was in Columbus, and I got a new debit card. Interestingly, before I realized, even before I got the card in the mail, the card was used in like Arizona, West Virginia, in places that I have never been,
Yeah.
and made purchases in shops and restaurants that I've never been. You see? So in reference to this scamming thing is rampant, and we all know, you know. But how can you provide your information? And please, I'm one person, I check my bank account every day. And if I
Yeah.
see $5 taken out and I don't know of it, I'm calling the bank. And
Yeah.
jokingly, I said to someone, I said, well, maybe it's because I don't have that much money. I pay attention to everything, even if it's $1. I would do well to find out where it's coming from. And I think people should just be cautious. Keep
Yeah.
track, keep your eyes on your account, keep track of your information. And you see, putting your baby's pictures and things like that online. I know people who would tell you that it's because when you maybe because you are, you know, you don't have it all together. That's why you don't want your issues on social media. But I plead and I hope that with this information being shared today, you realize that it goes beyond just you being extra proud as a mom that you've given birth, that you've been married and all that. This goes beyond that. Any information you post on social media, there is somebody somewhere, an invisible person that is watching, keeping track of this. By the time you know it, your information is out there, you know. So I think that we want to be extra careful. Nanaya says that it's okay to use AI to help you with your resume, but and then paraphrase it and not just depend on AI to do everything for you. That is just lazy. And Nanaya, I hope you don't use AI to detect resumes too. Okay, that's just by the way. It says I use credit only for online transactions instead of my home debit card. Okay. If it gets compromised, it's not my money and we can easily block the card. Sure. But then for those that don't have credit card, I don't think everybody have credit card. So if you don't have a credit card and you depend on your debit card, you want to be extra careful. So it's
Yeah.
5:20 p.m. and I'm glad that you came in the chat room
Yeah.
today. I think we didn't touch on everything, but I'm so glad that you came. I believe you might have to come back on the last Sunday of this month. So we will see you for the third time. At least that gives you have a break this. Yeah, you have a break. So at least you
Yeah.
have some break. And then the last Sunday of this month, you're coming back again. I'm glad that you came in. Do you have anything that you want to touch on lastly?
Yeah, I think just touch on the ATM card and the credit card and all those cards. See, you see, once a while, okay, for instance, I live in the UK, and I made my like myself that every 2 years, okay, I request for a new card. Every 2 years, I just request for a new card because you don't need to pay, you don't pay for it. You just request for a new card, so they will bring you a new card. So it means that all your digital history on the previous card, that on some places that you've used the card, okay, you don't want to care about it, so you've got a new card, right? And sometimes also you need to make sure you change your password a lot. And see, in the UK, if somebody gets your car number plate, it can tell every record about the car, okay, and give you certain information that is very, very sensitive. So if your car is not in public, you don't put your car in your pictures, number plate in your pictures, okay, it will limit your digital footprint in public. Now, the case of AI, in CV, see, it's a critical issue, because and like I said, some of the basic way to detect AI is hyphen. If you get your word, okay, hyphenated, please try and remove all the hyphens and put comma, because there are certain words essay that AI detected as a hyphen instead of comma. All right, so make sure that you remove delete the hyphen and put comma, right? And there are certain way that AI write, okay, essays, which maybe later I'll go into that. The next time you join us, I'll go into more kind of like how do you see AI essay and dictate, because I've marked more than 1,000 students' work. Okay, when I was a lecturer within the 3 years being an academic lecturer, I've seen different works. I've marked dissertation, which is like 80 pages. Okay, and we use Tenetin, we can detect. So I'm familiar with that environment of how students use AI in their work. Like I said, the more students advance in finding ways to be able to bypass AI, the more there are solutions coming up to detect those students' work. Because we've been mentioning, very soon AI will detect AI, okay, and they understand themselves, they communicate with each other. So what you need to do is find tools that can bypass it, paraphrase your work, okay, use your AI to help you to understand the question, okay, rather than do the work for me, because I need to submit it tomorrow. And I'll send students, they'll wait last minute, the day before submission, do the work for me, make sure that it's perfect. I'll get 100% score. I'm submitting it tomorrow. Then AI will also support you, because it will help you. It is there to help you, okay, but it will not be there to defend you.
Let me ask you this, Doc, before we leave. You said that it's very soon. How soon? I hope it's after December 2026.
Yeah.
How soon? Okay, we'll go into it. We'll come back. We'll bring you back on the 26th and we'll touch more on it. Yeah, I just hope it works in my favor and come after next year somewhere. Anyways, that was just by the way.
Yes, I think next week I'll bring out the latest developments in AI, and we'll go more into machine learning.
Okay.
And some of the predictions of AI, okay, and how AI is transforming the industries.
Okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. Nanaya, thank you for tuning in. She couldn't join us today. She's on vacation island. She's going on a honeymoon or something like that. And then MC, Mr. Sarpong, thank you for tuning in. Everyone who joined, if you haven't shared, please, it's just a click away. Click on the share button so that someone else can come back and have access to the replay. Very informative session as always. Well, guys, this is where we end our session. I'm glad you joined us. Doc, thank you so much. We'll have you come back again. God bless you. Have a good night. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you too. All right.
Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, Diameh. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve them. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn every.
Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, Diameh. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve them. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn. Every episode you gon' feel the burn. The chat room. Now here we define the way. The chat room.
Oh yes.
We go talk and clear, no delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. The chat room.